going to read, though, from the Heaven Chronicles, the Case Space Escapades, Cosmic Escapade, and this one is short. It's called The Android Bandits, and there's relations with the dream I had, etc., and other things. So this is called Android Bandits, that I quite commonly encounter spiders on the real side and would do again here. In this case, I went to my house and there were very large and mutated spiders everywhere, very creepy indeed. Fortunately, I was accompanied by a group of androids, these robotic men, and they dealt with the spiders, exclamation point, for me and cleared them away, which was very accommodating, exclamation point, of them. Then later we went to what seemed to be a high-tech government facility. Our purpose was to relieve the place of its finances. The operation here was technological, and so the currency was digital and not physical. These androids were able to lock in with the computers and drain the digital currency. The androids made between them the equivalent of $25 billion, and I secured a few million for myself during the digital raid that was my modest cut. End of story. Oops. No more money in the government coffers. And I don't know who would even think to believe anything that they have put forth in terms of their economic conditioning program, for the most part. And referring back to Val's adventure story, our country is, of course, none of that. DUANE's view of the Android Bandits is this demonstrates you earning your way and being on your adventure at the same time. The spiders represent the dark forces, but you have some friends there helping you out. The guides can do this, it just depends upon the situation. They can send mechanicals along to help you out. There you are at a high-tech building, supporting yourself in some way. I had a dream that's related. I was, the vista was in, I think, in Iran, and there were farms and a community. And one comment was that everything is like within 30 miles or some such distance, so there's no need for distance travel. But we were there, at least part of it was about traveling out in the farms and into the hills and seeing it. And the other thing I remember is about a visitor who was an American, and he had a car. He had come by car, and he was looking around, or we were sharing. I think he also had things in his car, like there was something about music related with him, but the main thing he said was, because I was not driving, I was on foot or whatever, and he said, why do you want to pay or do something that was related to pay for the use of operating in the land when you could do it you could do this yourself. So I just reminded of that because of what we just said with the Kevin Chronicle on the finding your own way, or being on your own adventure, and at the same time you're doing both. So there are friends to help out and the guides to show the situations and or recognize and help with any of the mechanicals, that is the tech. And so I have all these are interrelated to the story, and that's a constant thing. Just like the exclamation point was, we watched the Seinfeld episode last night, joking about the exclamation point overwriting of of a article that included far too many. And so it's good to be concise, and in writing, and I say that writing, that there was an example here by DUANE's The Far Country, or The Real Far Country book, was extreme example of that concise writing. And it's hard often for us to all do that in thoughts when it's spontaneous. But if we're really in the present with it and spontaneous, you'll find that you can communicate very clearly, and you don't have to worry about your words and or how you say something. When you're in that, it just will be natural. So there's a thing called natural intelligence that was deigned by a man named Michael Smith, and he's got these videos production of his real farm, hydroponic, carbon fueled, all-encompassing production, which produces energy as well as food products. It's quite amazing. And this was superseded, I think, to say, by our visit up to the mountains yesterday, and where we met farmers and people of the cafe and the restaurant up there and on the trail, all who have seem like a certain community is being built, and that's what we're presenting with that. And so it was very exciting, all of these things that are all interrelated. We met someone who has perhaps a area that's an oasis. I recall having a dream visiting Iran, and there was an oasis where there was a small group of people, or we could say, I thought it was something like the area of Shiraz at the time, where I know they have these beautiful temples that were built, that are built with fine tile work, and they're temple sanctuaries, or but this idea is related, that we had these oases for this purpose, and here in this area in Mexico is the missions, and actually all the way up California there are missions. There's a town nearby here. The main area here is called Les Missions, and I think the word relates directly, because in a way we're building missions, so to speak, not necessarily physical, but yes, they can be. And I wanted to kind of seed that thought. And this could be something that could be engineered and or supported with an economic relation and fundings, etc. But with the what's it called, the caveat of it's not about for economic capitalism. It's for total inclusive cooperation and acceptance by agreement of without regulations and controlled authoritarian positions, you know, like that. That's maybe could be said better. However, and that's the big picture. Val, anything to add or thoughts? Funny thoughts? Crazy people at work here, or is this a real thing? I have a picture that I took, and I will that DUANE had written about the new sun, worldwide planting. And yes, that's so these are seed productions, you know. We all are a seed, and we can produce into the true reality because we're already there. It's already made. All we're doing is following the bouncing ball of what's next. Where are we going? You never know. You have no idea. It's all unknown. Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Peter. It's like these people, these ranchers that we visited are setting up and preparing for us to come in and develop the awareness here in this area and then expand upon it. The Gilbert family was here more than 100 years ago in the 1800s. It established a ranch about 7.5 kilometers from us where we hiked to. And then the Nuno family came, and they're the ones that own the restaurant that we went to. The Nuno family and the Gilbert family are the original inhabitants and settlers here. And then there's others in the outskirts like Mario Cyprus, whom we met too. It's Peter mentioned Oasis. We're kind of excited to see his place because it really sounds nice. He has natural spring and a lot of trees, and it's very green. So these people kind of led the way for us to come in. That's the way I see it. They were here to establish something, and we are here to further it, expand upon it, because they're apparently they're okay with what we're doing. They want to conserve the land. They don't want to develop much. They want to keep it natural and rural. They don't want a lot of development going on back there. And it is pretty far away for people to come. So you really have to want to go out to the country to visit the restaurant or the people at the ranch. So that's where we are. We're just continuing with the process of meeting people and securing their permission to cross private property, establish maybe a right of way for the trail, and to assure them that we are not bad people, and we want to help them with their businesses and their awareness, and just help the planet in general. So this is a great opportunity for us. Thank you, DUANE and Ava, for us to be able to do this. Appreciate it.